All right, guys, we are in these streets trying to win $200,000 playing best ball fantasy football over on Underdog. If you're not already signed up on Underdog, of course, you guys already know promo code Davis will get you a nice little deposit match over there. I believe right now it is play $5, get $50 over on Underdog. We'll go ahead and hop in the lobby for the big board. I only have 52 of these left, so we need to be a smidgen judicious. We can't be doing about, we can't be doing 10 of these a day. I actually wish now that I would not have done as many slow drafts as I had wanted to. In terms of breaking news right now in the NFL, not much going on. We're kind of in the doldrums. We will be doing ADP chasing tonight at 6:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. I suppose the big news is Brian Robinson Jr. has been signed. So we have Bijan Robinson, who's the first overall pick in fantasy football, and now his new teammate, Brian Robinson Jr. Last season, 92 rushing attempts, 400 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. B-Rob was the handcuff to Christian McCaffrey last year. He will be the handcuff to Bijan Robinson this year. So I guess you could say Brian Robinson is fairly used to being the counterpoint to a very good running back. I guess you got to ask yourself, who's better, Brian Robinson Jr. or Tyler Algier? I mean, I guess the NFL is telling us that Tyler Algier is better because Brian Robinson Jr. got traded for nothing last season and signed for, I believe, a 1-year contract with the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, the Falcons let Algier go, and the Arizona Cardinals signed Algier for 2 years, $12 million. So I guess the NFL is telling us that Brian Robinson Jr. is worse than Tyler Algier. I don't really know if I buy that. I actually think this range of guys here at the end of drafts, we're looking at Katron Allen, Sean Tucker, Kamara, Pacheco, Benson. I mean, I think there's probably an argument to move Brian Robinson Jr. all the way up to the 180s, 170. Would I rather have Tajay Spears or Brian Robinson Jr.? I think I'd probably rather have Brian Robinson Jr. at this stage. Draft number 1 of the stream. We are drafting out of the 3 slot in the big board. That is going to let us start our draft with Puka Nacua. So we will be starting our draft with Puka Nacua, who is probably watching all of these contract extensions and news with bated breath because he knows whatever Jackson Smith-Njigba just got, which I believe, 4 years, $186 million, I believe was the number for Jackson Smith-Njigba. Puka Nacua is going to be getting at least that, probably more. It is quite funny how even at the beginning of the year, when we are so far away, there are so many things left to happen in the news that the first 5 picks of the draft pretty much go the same way every single time. Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Puka, Chase, JSN. After that, I think there's an argument to take Lamb. I think there's an argument to take Jefferson, Taylor, McCaffrey, Kenneth Walker, Brock Bowers, Trey McBride. Like, I think there's kind of a very, very flat tier from like pick 6 to like pick 18 to the Drake London range. Maybe an unpopular opinion, but that is what I think. And then I guess we have to think about the remaining backup San Francisco 49ers running backs. They will certainly draft someone, but their backfield now is Jordan James, Gurendo. I guess Patrick Taylor is technically still there. They will probably draft someone, I would guess. Not even I would guess. I would actually bet that. I would bet that at least one of the picks that the 49ers have in the 2026 NFL draft will be a running back. I don't know if it's Jordan James red or rocket countdown liftoff, but it could be. GM to Gunnar Ross, GM to my guy Purple Yosh, Max the Dinger. I did not get to Max the Dinger. I got I don't know, about 30-40 entries in the Dinger. I got my solo shot done, eagerly awaiting the beginning of the 2026 Major League Baseball season. Sam Grant, do you think a top 5 pick has slightly more EV? I do. So I think these tier guys are clearly like, they're just clearly a tier ahead of everyone else, in my opinion. Wow, Josh Allen at 17 there. The other thing is, if you look at the back end of the second round, oftentimes you can get Bowers there, you can get Nico there, you can get Pickens there. I mean, I'm not as big of a Chase Brown guy, but Chase Brown is quite a good pick. Like the back end of the second round picks are quite good. All right, well, there you go. Let's just go ahead and take Brock Bowers. So we have a Puka Nacua, Brock Bowers start to this draft. Do I like any particular starting spot? I mean, 5 is quite nice. 5, you get JSN. Sometimes you get Walker. Sometimes you get Love. Sometimes you get Bowers. I mean, in this draft, the JSN drafter, my guy Hochberg got Trey McBride. So yeah, I do think 5 is probably the ideal start. Obviously, it requires, JSN has to score a bunch of points, and if JSN doesn't score a bunch of points, then you won't feel as good about 5. But just like structurally right now, I do think 5 is probably the best. Is Kamara as dead as the market is saying he is? Yeah, I mean, because it sounds like he might just retire. So let's take Nico Collins here. That is all right. I guess we're doing 0 running back. Puka Nacua, Brock Bowers, Nico Collins. Yeah, I mean, the latest scuttlebutt on Alvin Kamara is that Alvin Kamara is going to be retiring and is probably unlikely to be back with the team. So Kellen Moore, when asked most recently about Alvin Kamara, he said, "We'd like to go through that process, certainly. And so we feel, obviously, we know Alvin means a lot to us. Again, we're 3 days into this thing. We signed Travis and we'll go through that process," which basically means Alvin Kamara is not on the team. Alvin Kamara is not going to be a New Orleans Saint. Now, is Alvin Kamara going to retire? I wouldn't imagine that Alvin Kamara has any significant trade value at all. Could be wrong, but I would imagine that Alvin Kamara does not have any significant trade value in any way, shape, or form. Could be wrong. Without third round reversal, it's pretty good. Yeah, third round reversal on fast draft. That is a nice little wrinkle. Who is / will be the Raiders number 2? Honestly, great question. Not something I've thought about a ton. I mean, I think pretty wide open to a rookie. I don't think it's going to be my boy Dylan Laube. I would love if it was my boy Dylan Laube. I don't think it's going to be Chris Collier. Let's see. Did they have anyone on the practice squad? They have Zamir White remaining on the practice squad. Oh, no. Sorry. Zamir White is an unrestricted free agent. Raheem Mostert is an unrestricted free agent. Yeah, so I would say it's probably going to be a rookie. I guess it could be, what are the remaining 2026 NFL free agent running backs? Remaining running backs. There's maybe someone out there that we're not thinking of. I don't know who it would be, but there could be someone else out there. Joe Mixon is available. Najee Harris is available. Antonio Gibson is available. Antonio Gibson kind of feels like a Raider to me. They might have signed Travis Homer, but according to the current Spotrac listing, let me go signed Homer. I don't see any listing for Travis Homer. Travis Homer. Maybe he's not listed as a running back. No, Travis Homer signed with the Steelers. Travis Homer signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, do you guys remember Zamir White? He's already a remember that guy. Tajay Spears to the Raiders feels good. Nah, no one ever trades for running backs like that. I mean, he might get cut. Would love a pass catching pass pro back on the Raiders. No, we definitely do not want that. If you are a Gene guy, like I'm a Gene guy, that is the last thing. That is the absolute last thing that you want on the Raiders. You are very much hoping to avoid that. We want Ashton Genty playing all the third downs, which I think he's totally capable of. So we have Puka, we have Nico, and we have Brock Bowers. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to walk it. I'm going to talk it. I'm going to live it. I'm just going to take Byshell Tootin right here. Picking at, well, actually, it looks like one of the guys behind me is auto drafting, so I'm not going to. I totally lied. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Jameson Williams, who I have ranked over Devontae Adams, and I'm really going to hope that Luckbox 322. I'm guessing because he took Derrick Henry, he is not a Byshell Tootin guy. But if he is, we're going to be tilting. But I'm very much hoping to select Byshell Tootin with my next pick. The Genty people want them to sign Blue after he's cut. Yeah, I mean, I only want losers in the backfield with Genty. I want Genty pacing for 400 touches. Would I do Devonta Smith 102 and 105 for Justin Jefferson? I mean, I would want the Justin Jefferson side of that personally, because you're not going to get Jeremiah Love. These wide receivers are super flat. Totally agree with this. Yield Fates is a sneaky good name. Yeah, I'm going to smash this button on Byshell Tootin. Byshell Tootin running back 1. So we have Puka, Bowers, Nico, Jameson Williams, Byshell Tootin. Sadly, there's probably not going to be much of a running back for us to take at 70. So we'll see. Yes, people do often overreact to not playing third downs. The more important part is just earning targets in general. I mean, third downs certainly help, but let's go look at some of the old season stats over on Fantasy Life, which is a nice little tool that we use. So let's go for running backs and let's sort by long down and distance snaps, and let's go for at least 200, maybe 100 snaps played. So long down and distance snaps amongst running backs. Yeah, you have McCaffrey there. Yeah, you have Bijan there. But then you also have a bunch of losers. Justice Hill, Rashad White, Tajay Spears, Jeremy McNichols, LaQuint Allen. Then you have Jonathan Taylor. But look at A-Chain down at 70%. Kyron Williams at 72%. Saquon Barkley, 66%. Jahmyr Gibbs, 65%. Javonte Williams, only 60% of the long down a distance. So people do certainly overreact to that stuff a good bit. Remember when Genty was getting outrushed by injured J.K. Dobbins? Didn't Genty have 2 40-point games? Jake just hates fun. No one hates fun the way Jake does. Ooh, we could do it very old school. We could totally turn the clock back and do an 8 running back team and just absolutely piss it green. Yeah, Kenny Gainwell, the long down and distance god, basically the opposite of the way that Bucky Irving has been used. Man, they really squeezed Bucky Irving last year. Bucky Irving got 19% of the long down and distance, and he got, I mean, this is crazy. Bucky Irving got zero rushes inside the 5-yard line last year. I mean, that is frankly wild. Is that what in 2024? I wonder. 2024, Bucky got 52% of them. I mean, that is just very, very hard to sustain yourself as a fantasy football asset with no long down and distance and no goal line. Then it just becomes like, how is this guy scoring fantasy points? And turns out it's very hard to score fantasy points that way. Dang. So RJ Harvey actually would have fit this build nicely. Jalen Hurts and Joe Burrow are both unstacked here. But in terms of my ranking, the only running back here as close as Warren. I mean, do I just get a quarterback out of the way here? Caleb maybe, and then do well, I guess there's not really a backstack with Caleb anymore. I don't really like uncorrelated Burrow. I guess you know what? We're just going to take Hurts because we can get Goddard later. We can get the rushing points. Kind of, that was a weird spot to be in. Harvey would have been super nice there. If Jalen Warren goes, well, I mean, if Jalen Warren goes, we'll just take Ramondre. Yeah, Ramondre is not already gone. This is kind of the problem with zero running back teams, isn't it? I mean, not only is zero running back a little bit less viable in terms of just the way teams are scoring fantasy points, but shit. All right, Ramondre goes. Well, all right, we are going to be stuck with where is Jalen Warren? There you go. All right, Jalen Warren, running back 2. I mean, it's very much a say the line Bart team. Jalen Warren, running back 2. How like, what are we thinking the Jalen Warren role is going to be like this year with Kenneth Gainwell gone? I mean, what shape do we think the Steelers backfield is going to take with Rico Dowdle and Jalen Warren? Because I like taking Rico. Jalen Warren just kind of always has the same season. I guess he did get up to 958 rushing yards, but man, 1,200 scrimmage yards last year for Jalen Warren. Honestly, you could have got me on that. I don't think I would have guessed that Jalen Warren had 1,200 scrimmage yards last year. Maybe he is a better. Maybe I like someone commented on one of my videos the other day. We had to talk about your Jalen Warren problem. Maybe it's not a Jalen Warren problem at all. Maybe it's a Jalen Warren solution. Oh, I think about nothing but this all the time. Just imagining Byshell Tootin finishing as the overall running back 7. I don't know how to look this stat up, and maybe I should invent a way to do this. Should be pretty easy to do. But I'd love to see percentage of team fantasy points scored by running backs, because you would almost have to imagine the 2025 Pittsburgh Steelers just team cumulative fantasy points. Kenneth Gainwell and Jalen Warren had to have scored such a huge chunk of the team's points. They were 1 and 2 on the team in scrimmage yards. They were tied for first on the team in touchdowns. Only one other player on the team had more than 486 yards. That was DK Metcalf. I mean, the team gained 5,388 yards overall, and over 2,400 or 2,300 of the yards were from Warren and Gainwell. Warren and Gainwell led the team in receptions. Warren was second. 73 receptions for Kenny Gainwell. I mean, my goodness. And the Steelers still don't have a quarterback. It's got to be Rodgers, right? I don't understand. It's certainly got to be Rodgers. I don't see what else could possibly happen. Okay. Maybe controversial here, maybe not, because it's not what the computer is telling me to do, but it's what I'm going to do. I'm not dicking around. I would rather have Stafford with Puka Nacua than an unstacked Brock Purdy. I think you lock that down, and then here we are going to skip on another quarterback. We're going to wait and wait and wait on quarterback, and we are probably going to reach on a running back here, or I might take Michael Pittman Jr. and set up the Pittsburgh thing and set up really late Aaron Rodgers. I think that's what I'm going to do, actually. I'm going to take Michael Pittman Jr., who I never take, and I've got a lot of Aaron Rodgers, and we're just going to set up the double Rodgers stack later here. I did. Apparently, I just made the bull case for Michael Pittman, wide receiver 1, and then I just took him. Benny says it's impossible Dowdle takes everything from Warren without injury. I think it's thin, but possible Warren dominates touches even if both were healthy. Most likely they're both in the teens in the end. So I tend to agree with this because last season, I remember saying this to Corain a bunch of times. I feel like the idea of Jalen Warren as a lead running back is just never going to happen. And I assume if we look at the 2025 Steelers running back utilization, we will see he was not quote unquote a lead running back. Yeah. 64 utilization, 66 utilization for Gainwell. They were running back 21 and 18 in PPR. They both played 50% of the snaps. Like that to me, 60% of a team's rush attempts and 8% of their targets kind of feels like almost the ceiling of what Jalen Warren can do. But I mean, still, I think Warren is and Dowdle are both kind of appropriately priced. Had a Warren Rico draft literally minutes before Rico signed. Being in Ohio, I come across a lot of Steelers fans, and they're hilariously clamoring for Will Howard. Well, Will Howard and I attended the same university, Kansas State University. People are saying that the graduates of Kansas State University are just, smart, wise, handsome men. So Will Howard does have that going for him. But then he went to that gross school, Ohio State University, which you don't love at all. Kenny Gainwell is a dog. Yeah, I liked, what's funny is I really liked Kenneth Gainwell as a prospect, which, I mean, you got to go back a long time to dig up his prospect profile from Memphis, but I really liked him as a prospect, drafted him a ton as a handcuff on the Eagles. So I guess I wasn't surprised he was that good. The thing is, Dowdle only had 3.8 yards per carry if you take out the 2 games he played against horrible defense as well. I don't do that. I'm not I'm not in the business of doing that. All right. Rashad White is a clanker ass pick here. I guess honestly, we do just kind of need a body. Like, we might just need a guy who is active. So let's take Rashad. I'm gonna ask Karain about that ranking tonight on ADP chasing. I'd like to talk about I'd like to do Kami's backfield. I would like to do Kami's backfield with Pat's input this time. Gonna type that in our ADP chasing group chat. All right, so we got Rashad White. We could. What if we doubled up? Doubling up might be kind of fun. Taking 2 of them. Is taking Rashad White and Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt together fun, or am I making that up? I think that might be kind of fun. It also might be kind of fun to take Golden here. I'm trying to think stack wise. No Ram we need to take. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna double up. If the Washington Commanders draft Jeremiah Love, this team is dead. And it is what it is. I saw the Lions logo and Kenny Gainwell on Reddit as Kenny Galladay. Big time PTSD. I think / hope the Commanders like Bill. Well, we're going to find out when we see if they take Jeremiah Love or not. I think White gets a lot of run. He's gotten more efficient since his running back 5 season. Rashad White stinks. All due respect. Rashad White is not a good running back. But he's kind of just he's kind of Samaj P. Ryan-ish. I don't know if Rashad and JCM together seem sharp because they might draft Jeremiah Love. What I will say is that if Rashad White and JCM stay healthy and Jaden Daniels stays healthy, they will score a bunch of fantasy points. Rashad White would be the running back 1 if pass pro counted for fantasy. You know what, Rudman? Let's get on. Hope Numi. I think that we should develop. I think we should develop fantasy points for. I think you get like pancake blocks or like PFF pass grade efficiency. Imagine how the meta of fantasy football would change if you got points for that. I mean, think about all these guys. You could draft James Conner. You could draft Emmanuel Wilson. You could draft, I don't know who else is good at pass protection down here. You could draft Ty Johnson. You could draft Justice Hill. You could draft LaQuint Allen. That would be fun. That would be fun. Just, I think there is at some point, and I don't know when, but at some point there's going to be kind of like a revolution in fantasy point scoring where more categories are brought about, where you're able to score for a great amount of things. Like, what if there was, all right, we're going to do Dallas Goedert here with Hurts. What if there was like integer scoring based on quarterback efficiency? So instead of like the Blake Bortles games where Blake Bortles, throws for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions, because he only averaged 5.6 YPA, there was like a negative multiplier. Ooh, return yards. Love return yards. I don't know. IDP, not for me. Not grinding dingers before close is criminal. Hey, we will have plenty of time to be in the Major League Baseball streets, brother. I just don't feel like I have that much of an edge in the dinger, honestly. I love it though. I did my teams in the dinger. All right, we are gonna nab Mendoza here. So we are at Jalen Hurts, Matthew Stafford, Fernando Mendoza, Byshell Tootin, Jalen Warren, Rashad White, JCM, Puka Nacua, Nico Collins, J-Mo, Michael Pittman Jr., Brock Bowers, and Dallas Goedert. Ooh, offensive line category. Yeah. I mean, yes, obviously no normal person is gonna play in any of these leagues. No normal person wants to know about average depth of target. No normal person wants to know about CPOE. No, the EPA. They don't care. Categories fantasy football league. Yes. So when I used to play fantasy baseball, which I have done in the past, categories are a fun way to play it. Joe Tooney 101. People are saying more and more. I've heard it. Targets only. I mean, yeah, sign me up. That's also known as the Sklansky Buck League, the targets only league. Well, how are we going to close this one out? Keaton Mitchell would have been very ideal for this team. Sometimes when I'm drafting with the sidekick, I honestly forget to take Keaton Mitchell because the legendary upside guys are far lower on him than I am. I have Keaton Mitchell ranked. I guess it was pretty aggressive. ADP's caught up to it now. Yeah. So I moved him up into the 150s. That is where his average draft position is now. Bit of a bummer. Yeah, I have the Rodgers ghost double. I guess I shouldn't have taken Mendoza. I actually made a big mistake there. I should not have taken Mendoza. I set this team up to take Rodgers. I should have taken Keaton Mitchell. So unforced error by me. Yes, David Sklansky. Sklansky Bucks were in fact named after David Sklansky. Omar Cooper is still solidly in the first in most mocks and still goes in the 13th. Yeah, it's a bit strange. I mean, one, I guess it's the market just reacting slowly, which is sort of interesting. But also, I just think it's that, Omar Cooper Jr. is not that good, right? I mean, that's a big part of it. Just, doesn't seem like he's that good of a player. Man, we are to the spot of the draft where Woody Marks is getting recommended to us. We have made some tactical errors here. God, Woody Marks. I don't even want Woody Marks. I'm taking Sean Tucker. I cannot with Woody Marks. Watching Woody Marks last year, having huge bags of him and getting so much of his getting like that insane CLV. Ooh, you know what, Brad? That's actually a good shout. This is a good draft to jump the gun on Brian Robinson Jr. Get the handcuff here. I will do that. I am gonna take B-Rob. There you go. Shout out to my guy. Shout out to my guy, Brad. He's got my back. I wonder. I actually don't know this. What do we think the Aaron Rodgers PFF grade was last year? How much worse was it than his like great seasons? Not that I have a great, not that I think PFF is everything. So Rodgers PFF grade last year, 68.8. That's a lot worse than his average. 27 big time throws, 16 turnover worthy plays, really low A dot, 6.6 A dot. Yeah, bro cannot move anymore. B-Rob went to me at pick 171. Yes, the Falcons have cornered the market on all eligible B-Robs in the National Football League at the running back position. PPR, 0.5 for a PI drawn. Quarterback gets 0.02 per yard. Receiver gets 0.5 per yard around PI. Yeah, but then that might overstate it a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. Hard to say. Chad wants to talk about Javonte. It seems to me that people are pushing up Javonte because he has a locked-in role when they can get the same 200 points for 2 rounds cheaper in Swift. I mean, I disagree, Chad. I mean, I agree with you that Javonte is like probably pretty clearly a bad pick where he goes, but I think Swift is far less locked in. Swift's contract is cuttable. if they decide they want to do that. There's been rumors that the Bears are one of the teams interested in trading up for Jeremiah Love. And Swift does not have a monopoly on the goal line work, whereas Javonte Williams will get all of the goal line work for the Dallas Cowboys. So and the Cowboys offensive line is so good. In slow drafts, do you lean on defaulting to the sidekick? I honestly, it depends on how many I'm in, and it depends on if I'm doing it. A lot of the times I'm doing it on my phone, so the answer would be no. The sidekick is very useful for doing slow drafts for sure, but I also have my rank, so sometimes I just tab through and jamming on my rankings. Because again, and I've talked about this a bunch, but like a lot of the a lot of what I'm doing in these early drafts is, I am just totally comfortable having like crazy. I will not be taking Trey Tucker. I will take Nicholas Singleton. So our running back room is now Tootin, Warren, Rashad White, JCM, Sean Tucker, Brian Robinson, and Nicholas Singleton. 7 running backs. I think we got some bodies there. We are. I can sell myself on that basically. I still don't really want to take Trey Tucker. I definitely don't want to take Pat Bryant. I mean Trey Tucker. I mean, honestly, what is the point of Trey Tucker? Didn't he just get frame mogged by Jalen Naylor? I guess it's just the part of the draft we're in. All right, we'll take Trey Tucker. Hope we get one good game out of him. Which offense improves more, the Giants or the Saints? Well, if Malik Neighbors is able to play, then it's definitely going to be the Giants, just because the presence of one of the if you have the presence of the elite superstar wide receiver, everything else improves around it. But I think Kellen Moore is a great offensive coordinator. Any lean on where Singleton lands? Honestly, no. There's been very little reporting because he hasn't played very much. Oh, damn. I meant to get Terrence Ferguson with Stafford. Did we not just see Javonte have the exact role we're projecting last year? Yes, we did see Javonte have that role, and he was really good at it. We did see that role for Javonte, and he was very. I mean, I'm not. You got to understand. I am so not a Javonte bro. Javonte is like the my least favorite type of guy in fantasy football. I really am not a fan. I'm not really a fan of Swift either. So maybe you might be asking the wrong guy. Could be possible. Dart, Scat, Love, Neighbors likely will feed families. I mean, imagine they take Jeremiah Love. I don't think they will. But I guess I am an unreliable narrator on that as well, because I don't really see why any team would take Jeremiah Love in the first round. I mean, someone probably will do it. Yes, 2025 viewers of the Davis Maddock Fantasy Football channel will have strong recollections of me hating on Javonte Williams and being dead ass wrong. Almost startlingly wrong. I guess Jaden Blue just really had nothing. Huge update from my guy Ron here, though. Siegel recently gave us permission to not draft Javonte. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. I mean, Zachariah Branch is a really good pick here. We do not have any rookie wide receivers yet. I do really like Zachariah Branch. We don't really even need. Did all my favorite third tight ends go? Yep. Stowers went, Ferguson went, Helm went. We could maybe just get away with 2 tight ends on this team. Oh yeah. We were hammering the Miles Sanders round 18. Loving it. I mean, Miles Sanders, and he went on the frickin' IR. What a just total nightmare. And then Jaden Blue played in week 18 and looked really good. That was honestly to me, that was one of the funniest parts of it was that he just looked awesome as a runner, not as like a pass blocker. And oh man, I was gonna take Ollie Gordon. All right, we're about to take Amari DiMercato though. Okay. Somewhere in there's got to be a usable running back too. Tootin, Warren, Rashad White, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, Sean Tucker, Brian Robinson, Nicholas Singleton, Amari DiMercato. Somewhere in there, we got to have a usable player. One of Franklin, Mims, or Pat Bryant will be getting traded. No, I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. That's just not really that's not really it's not the way Sean Payton does things. And who's trading? I mean, is there going to be a trade market for any of those guys? Oh, this is a great line right here. If Kyle Monangai buys Louis Vuitton cleats, I will get to 2x the market on DeAndre Swift. Miles Sanders caught from behind by a linebacker, Zach Bond, in week 1. I remember where I was. Insane moment. Really? Yes. I also wish I had known this. MVF said, really wish I had known Jaden Blue quit his high school team, asked to rejoin, and was told no. That would have saved me a lot of money. Yeah. Would have saved me a lot. I've been clicking Giddens a lot on the 7-8 running back builds. Well, isn't Amir Abdullah still on the team? Maybe I'm wrong. Nate was at the Miles Sanders caught from behind game. Wow, where were you? Where were you when Miles Sanders got caught by Zach Bond and couldn't score? All right. Well, we have got 3 quarterbacks, 8 running backs, 6 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. I mean, if there was any tight end I liked here still left, I would do it. Yeah, I mean, I do think the Brian Robinson Jr. signing with Atlanta is about as good of a spot as you could have asked for. He's a premium tier handcuff now. Like if you were just to go through and rank guys just as running back twos, you would have to say, I mean, how far down the list would you get of running back twos before you'd say Brian Robinson Jr.? I mean, let's just that can be the exercise we do in between drafts. We can rank the handcuff running backs. He would, because the Falcons have nothing in terms of a running back 3. They barely played a third running back at all last season. We could take Sam Roush at the end. I maybe have not selected Sam Roush yet. I mean, we could take Colby Parkinson as a hedge against all my other Terrence Ferguson bags. I guess let's just do that. I don't think I've taken Colby Parkinson yet. Let's do it. Why not? Little bit of Colby Parkinson never hurt anybody. Yes, I did draft a little bit of Michael Trigg, and I feel real dumb. Oh, I can't take Colby Parkinson because he went. All right, Dontavian Wicks. We'll end it out there. All right, first team. Jalen Hurts, Matthew Stafford, Fernando Mendoza, Byshell Tootin, Jalen Warren, Rashad White, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, Sean Tucker, Brian Robinson, Nicholas Singleton, Amari DiMercato, Puka with Stafford, Nico Collins, Jameson Williams, Michael Pittman, Trey Tucker with Mendoza, Zachariah Branch, Dontavian Wicks, Bowers with Mendoza, Goddard with Hurts. No, the Rams tight ends are not off limits. You want to be drafting a lot of Terrence Ferguson right now. Okay. Running back 2 rankings. I mean, you There's no real running back 2 behind Taylor. I wouldn't put Jordan James up there. The Raiders don't really have one. The Chiefs honestly don't even really have one because they're just third down backs. The Bills, I guess you got Ray Davis. With Barkley, you've got Tank. With HN, you've got Gordon and Wright. With Jeremiah Love, I mean, who knows? Hampton, you've got Keaton. Henry, you've got no one. Brown, you don't really have anyone. Jacobs, you've got Chris Brooks, I guess. I mean, shit, dude. Like, I might take Brian Robinson Jr. So Corum is pretty high up there. Manungai's pretty high up there. Rashad White. I mean, I certainly think you could make an argument to take Brian Robinson Jr. in the 120s. If the Commanders end up not going wide receiver in the first round, can we lock in Chig as the number 2 pass catcher? No, because the number 2 pass catcher for the Washington Commanders is Brandon Ayuk. They just have to agree with whatever the pricing the 49ers want. And I don't know if and when they're going to do that, but eventually they will. Yeah, post NFL draft, a lot of these guys are going to climb. I agree. Okay. Draft number 2, we are drafting out of the 12 hole. So we're picking at 12 and 13. We were drafting against Big B 14, Cut Cutler, top of the Forbes, out on Elvia, Caden JG, A Davila 228, Spaghetti, Otherworldly, Alaho Gamble, Bucks Caddy 24, and Das Brew Crew. Leave the light on for Traylon Burks. I am not leaving the light on for Traylon Burks. Soccer Dave probably is. I think Bigsby is pretty clearly the backup in Philly. I mean, who else? Who are we thinking? I mean, I guess it certainly could be a rookie. Bigsby is frankly probably pretty underpriced right now, I would say. In terms of, you can get Bigsby in like the 19th round as likely a handcuff running back. All right, what are we gonna do at the turn here? We gonna do something weird? I mean, Genty Walker would be lit. Like Aldo Nova, but my name. GM. I don't think it's Shipley. I don't think. All right, well, we'll just do Walker and we'll do Cook. So we're gonna do the opposite of what we did last draft, and we're just gonna pound the running backs. Not surrendering on my guy, Kenneth Walker. I just feel very good about drafting Kenneth Walker. They paid this dude so much money. He is going to get so many, even if DeMarcado is playing third downs, this dude is going to get so many opportunities to score fantasy points. It's going to be, frankly, it's going to be a bit absurd, and I'm looking forward to Chiefs football returning in earnest in 2026. Justice Hill, Rasheen Ali, or a rookie? I mean, honestly, at this stage, I would guess it's probably Justice Hill that you'd want to draft. That really would be my guess. Who will be catching passes on third downs for the Falcons? I mean, probably Bijan Robinson, right? I don't see why it wouldn't be Bijan Robinson. Bijan was like the best pass catching running back in the NFL last year. UD is mainly about who can go for 30 in a given week. KDB3 got to be top 10 in odds weekly. You know what, my guy? This is so true. I should have taken Cook over Walker to keep the Walker ADP down. Does signing Walker make you think they're not going to do the Rice PPR stuff now? No. What makes me think they might not do the Rice PPR stuff is the fact that Rashee Rice might be suspended from the National Football League. But they're still going to be a very aggressive passing team. I mean, go back and look at this season has been my reference point. The 2018 season, where Kareem Hunt got kicked off the team. that 2018 season for the Kansas City Chiefs. No, I don't want Kareem Hunt. I want the 2018 Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes threw 580 times, 50 touchdowns, 9.6 YPA. Kelsey and Tyreek smashed. 7 receiving touchdowns for Hunt, 5 for Conley, 3 for Watkins, 4 for Demarcus Robinson, 3 for Demetrius Harris. I mean, it was an absolute bonanza of fantasy football points. And that's the world that I want to live in. We are reliving the glory days. That is literally exactly what we're doing, bro. We are remembering times past with a misty look in our eyes. We can take Luther Burden at 36. I think that's probably what we're going to be doing. And I'm happy to do it. I think Luther Burden is a favorite to pay off. Why do people like Ferguson over Parkinson in the first place? Well, I can only speak for myself. So the main reason would be is Colby Parkinson has been in the National Football League for 6 years. Last year was the first season he ever got over 322 receiving yards. It was the first time he ever scored more than 2 touchdowns. He's basically an offensive lineman. By the way, including the year before where he was already on the Los Angeles Rams, Terrence Ferguson had an 18.6 ADOT. So he's like a deep threat tight. He's kind of like Kyle. He's kind of like a white, redheaded Kyle Pitts is honestly the way I would tell you to think about Terrence Ferguson. Ferguson, I think, is probably just like the more valuable fantasy football option. Like, what is a Colby Parkinson ceiling season? I mean, I guess he did score 8 touchdowns last year. So good for him. All right. Well, I mean, do we take Breece on this team? Yeah, you know what? Let's live our truth. Let's take Breece, and then I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take Burden. We're having some fun. It's a Tuesday afternoon. The sun is shining out there. Why not take Luther Burden at 37? Trey McBride still falling after the Brissett signing is interesting. Yeah, I guess I would say the McBride fall now might be I wonder if it is maybe more about just realizing that the Cardinals are going to be terrible. That could, to me, that is my hang up. Because I don't know if people are aware of just how bad Jacoby Brissett was. Jacoby Brissett was in terms of EPA per play, he was slightly better than Tua. He was worse than Penix. I'm gonna go adjusted EPA per play. I mean, I guess he was positive. 46% success rate. They were just, I guess, maybe it was more on the defense. They were just so bad as a team. In the games that Jacoby Brissett started, they were dead last in the NFL in point differential. Also this, Brissett does feel like he's got to be a huge dog to start week 17, unless, Chad, hear me out. Horseshoe theory. Jacoby Brissett gets benched. Gardner Minshew plays terrible. It horseshoes back around Jacoby Brissett. I think your big threat is Ty Simpson, because the Cardinals are probably the team that feels most live to draft one of these secondary quarterbacks. You know, Ty Simpson, Drew Aller, Garrett Nussmeier, Kalen Green, or whatever, you know. And if that happens, that guy is almost certainly going to be starting in week 17, because the Cardinals are going to be, I mean, they're going to be the worst team, probably second worst team in the NFL. The Dolphins will be worse, almost certainly. Maybe not though. Honestly, maybe the Cardinals might find a way to be worse. Will I be tuning in for Tiger in the TGL finals tonight? I probably will not watch the TGL tonight, my guy Mike, because I watched until like 10 o'clock last night, and I was so tilted at how obviously better the LA Golf Club was, and how and I mean I bet on the LA Golf Club. I had so many entries in on the LA Golf Club, and I just was losing my mind that that match was even competitive, and they're for sure going to cheat for Tiger tonight. Wow, this feels huge. So we're going to take Carnell Tate here. Let's take Tate and Lemon. We are living a little. Ken Walker, James Cook, Brees Hall, Carnell Tate, and Makai Lemon. We're living a lot. Gotta love the classic lightest second round draft pick on fire by overdrafting a quarterback so they can move on in 27. Yeah, and I would say, I mean, are they a favorite to do that? I don't know. I don't know about favorite, but it feels pretty likely that is what they're gonna do. That's why I put Ty Simpson on the thumbnail for this video. I feel like I don't even like Ty Simpson. I don't even think Ty Simpson is good. But we are starting to get all the smoke on Ty Simpson now. Schefter said he's going to be a first round pick. You've got Dan Orlovsky saying that that he thinks he's better than Mendoza. Who's Howe? The Athletic, Jeff Howe believes quarterback Ty Simpson could be a good fit for the Rams, yada, yada, so on and so forth. Mary Kay Cabot says that Ty Simpson is on the Browns' radar. Gary Dulac says the Steelers are actually unlikely to draft Ty Simpson, which is sort of interesting. This team is straight up Antifa. Here's the thing, my guy Garage. If Tiger plays in the TGL tonight, they are for sure going to cheat for him. They will alter the video board for him, no doubt. On one hand, if you're Arizona, don't bother taking a quarterback for Arch next year. But on the other hand, Miami is lapping the field on that race already. I mean, I guess my hot take would be, and maybe it's not even a hot take anymore, I don't know if I see it as much with Arch. Number 1 overall, like tank multiple seasons. I know Arch is good, but I don't know if he's that good. No, it's they're not actually cheating. No, they're not actually cheating in the TGL. It's what it is it's that they're not using the TrackMan for their game. They're using a company that Tiger owns, and the technology is just not that good. So the ability to track all the shots and everything is just a little bit different. Okay. Well, gosh, I don't think I can afford to take Mahomes here. I think, all right, let's take a wide receiver. Let's take Jordan Addison. Is it still going to want me to take Mahomes after taking Addison? What are we at? We're at pick 85. Okay. All right. Hey, Mahomes at 85. Why not? Hot take. Trinidad Chambliss. Is it Chambliss? Chambliss over Arch? Probably not. Maybe, though. I don't know. I liked watching Trinidad in college. I thought he was fun. Is there a difference between Will Howard and Mendoza? Yes. Yeah, Will Howard's not good. He really isn't. UT grad, so I'm biased, but he's not the only good quarterback prospect next year to tank also. So I've been seeing that go around, and maybe this is just that I'm old now and I've gone through enough draft cycles. I just don't think any of these guys are good. I don't think Dante Moore is very good. I don't think Julian Sands very good. I don't think Sorsby's very good. If Sellers was good, he would have come out this year. If Chambliss was good, he would have come out this year. He literally sued the NCAA to come back. Jaden Maavia, maybe. CJ Carr, not for me, really. No. I mean, CJ Carr, like, when are we going to learn about freaking Notre Dame quarterbacks? No, thank you. Monken recruited Simpson to Georgia and is very close to Simpson's father. Okay. Does the Field signing make me hesitant on Mahomes at all? Not at all, because this is what Andy Reid does. Go look at the history of Andy Reid veteran quarterbacks, backup quarterbacks. That is always what he does. He does not want a rookie. He does not want a young guy. He only wants vets. How much better do I think Bowers will be than Loveland next year? A lot better. Who am I taking in the Swolecast Second Chance Survivor? Have not looked yet. Good reminder, though. If you guys have not hopped in to the Swolecast Second Chance Survivor, you should do that over on Splash Sports right now. I believe it is $25 to enter. There you go. 400 total entries. You got 2 days left to enter. But yeah, you should hop in over there over on Splash Sports. Am I coming back to Tam Ave and Dogtown anytime soon, Ben? Well, first off, shout out to my guy Ben. Second off, probably not. I'm an old man now, Ben. I have a child. I'm looking forward to sleeping most of my evenings. I don't know if I like Mendoza. I just think that Mendoza is good enough to get the Bears across the line. The last quarterback prospect I really liked was Caleb Williams. Kind of short, most of the guys other than that. We have talked about Brian Robinson. I am pro Brian Robinson right now. I don't think there's much of. It feels like he's probably pretty undervalued. All right, let's take Kyler here, and then damn, who took Worthy? This guy took Worthy right ahead of me. All right, Kyler, Jadarian Price. I think I'd rather take Jaden Reed. We need wide receiver points more. So we've got Walker, Cook, Brees, Burden, Tate, Lemon, Addison, Mahomes, Murray, and Jaden Reed. Well, my survivor picks not feeling great because I'm the only idiot who freaking took Gonzaga against Texas. Oh man, that was painful. So I'm down to, let's see. So I'm out of my friend survivor that I did with some of my buddies from college. I think I'm entirely out of that one, which is brutal. One that I really like to do. I've got one entry left in the Swolecast OG contest, and I've got one entry left in the Field of 68 Survivor. I burned Arkansas, Tennessee, Illinois, and Iowa State in that one. B-Rob or Chris Rodriguez? It's C-Rod, but that's the right range, I think. Are the Chiefs in the market for a first-round wide receiver? I would be surprised if they took a wide receiver with their first-round pick. I think they're probably in the market for it. I wonder if they decided that they want a wide receiver, that they would maybe trade back. I think would be the move. Because taking a wide receiver at 9, I would prefer them. I want them to take a 300-pound guy, and I don't care if the 300-pound guy is on offense or on defense, but I just want them. to take a 300-pound guy. Lemon will definitely be there at 9. I don't think they would take him there. They might. I don't know. They might. The most recent Tyreek Hill news I saw was that he told someone, the most recent Tyreek story was that he has used Claude AI to build an automated payment system to each of the mothers of his children. So that's all I've got. Thornton, yeah, Thornton is a pretty fun 20th round click. You can do worse, particularly on teams that you don't already have Xavier Worthy on. A 300-pound wide receiver like Kelvin Benjamin. Whatever they need to do. I want them to do the thing that makes the most sense for them as a franchise. If the brain trust believes that the thing that makes the most sense for them is to take a wide receiver, then I'm happy for them to take a wide receiver. Whatever. Signs of self-growth from Tyreek. Well, the bearish thing on Tyreek is just that he just like straight up might not be healthy enough to play football. I even if he is a Chief, which I do think is probably the most likely scenario, is that he ends up playing for the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, old broken down Tyreek is also a very Baltimore Ravens style signing, so you never know. All right, what are we gonna do here? So we do not have a tight end yet. Do I want to take Sadiq? Might be kind of fun here. Sadiq and then Aaron Jones get the stack, because I mentioned this on the stream yesterday. I do really like the Aaron Jones, Kyler Murray coordinated ceilings. I think I would like to take Kenyon Sadiq if I don't get jammed here. Do I think pairing Jalen Wright and Ollie Gordon is a good bet in case A-Chain gets traded? I don't. And the reason why I don't is that I just don't think there's enough fantasy points there. You want one of them to be a clear winner. All right, well, shit. Let's take Aaron Jones. Sadiq went. If I want to take a tight end, we'll just take Kelsey. There we go. All right, so Aaron Jones, Travis Kelsey, a combined 62 years old. No, older. Combined like 68 years old there. What was the last good draft for the Chiefs? 2022, I think. Chiefs draft PFR. So 2023 was awful. 2022, they got McDuffie, Karlaftis, Leo Chenal, and Jalen Watson and Pacheco. Yeah, so 2022 was a smash. Now, they also had some huge misses in there. 2021 was a smash. They got Bolton and Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith. 2020 was bad because of Clyde, but then really good because of Snead and Niang. 2019, I mean, Thornhill was quite good for them. It was the 2023 draft. Like, these guys just all sucking. Like, FAU terrible, Wanya Morris terrible, Chamari Connor, they don't play. None of these guys played at all. The 2024 draft, honestly, like Jared Wiley, nothing. Jaden Hicks, very little. Veach has not been covering himself in glory. It's not actually a 3-year deal. It's a 1-year deal with incentives for Kelsey. Yeah, taking FAU because he was a local guy from K-State was so bad. Not ideal. Not ideal in any way, shape, or form. All right. Well, okay. The team is Mahomes, Kyler, Ken Walker, James Cook, Breece Hall, Aaron Jones, Burden, Tate, Lemon, Addison, Reed, and Kelsey. So I need to start thinking veterans like Diggs, Debo, Ayuk, Dell, Judy. This is This is a very Jerry Jeudy coded team, I think, which is always frightening. You never want to end yourself. You never want to end yourself with the Jerry Jeudy team. Dang, Brandon Ayuk goes sniped, brutally sniped on Brandon Ayuk. This is actually probably a good team to select Ty Simpson on, because I have a very little pressure in terms of needing quarterback points. Mahomes maybe misses. I don't think he will, but if Mahomes does miss a month, I've got Kyler for those games. I won't need my third quarterback to add a ton of fantasy points. I mean, I guess Sidekick is wanting quarterbacks here, which I'm not crazy about. Diggs, I think, would be a good pick. I don't think I want to take Omar Cooper Jr. here, because I just don't want all those rookie wide receivers. I mean, Diggs to the Ravens just because the Ravens always sign dusty old wide. It's like the Titans and the Ravens always sign the dusty old wide receivers. Debo, I guess, kind of fits this build. Jeudy fits this build. Ridley fits this build. God, why is Jalen Naylor all the way up to wide receiver 71? I'm going to be punting third quarterback here. I think I'm going to do Debo and Jeudy, actually. So let's do Jeudy first and then see if the recommendations change. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do Debo. Or a tight end. Would I rather do... Let's do Chig, actually. I like Chig. No Debo signing yet. Great point for my guy Dirt Bike Luke here. Juwan Jennings is a pretty Baltimore Ravens ass signing. Yes, he is. Juwan Jennings is about as Ravens ass as it gets. Debo has not signed yet. I wonder, I mean, who is an obvious team that could use Debo? The Patriots maybe could be in on Debo. The Bills wouldn't be. The Dolphins wouldn't be. The Jets wouldn't be. Jags, no. Texans, no. Colts, no. Titans, probably not. Steelers, no. Ravens, maybe. That also fits Baltimore Ravens DNA. Bengals, no. Browns, no. Broncos, no. Chargers, maybe if he came real cheap. Keenan Allen says, I'm not coming back. We need another wide receiver, maybe. I don't think the Chiefs would be interested. The Raiders possibly could be a Debo team. The Eagles, no. They already signed Hollywood. The Cowboys, no. The Commanders already said no. Giants? The Giants don't really have much at wide receiver. Maybe the Giants. I mean, I would say the Ravens are the clubhouse leader. Panthers, probably not. Buccaneers would be a no. Falcons have nothing at wide receiver. I mean, the Falcons basically have the worst wide receiver room in the NFL. They got Drake London and nothing. They got like Casey Washington. I mean, the Falcons, and the target volume would be there for him on the Falcons. The Saints maybe, probably not, but I would say no. Bears, no. Packers, no. Lions, no. Vikings, no. Seahawks, I would think no. Rams, no. 49ers, maybe bring them back. Cardinals, no. So not that many teams. I mean, I think Giraffe, I think you got to feel good if you have big Brian Robinson Jr. bags, because he just landed in a spot where he's just a really good handcuff. Yeah, I also have been very surprised in the slowness of the adaptation of the market to Juwan Jennings. It's been one of the most startling things to me about free agency. We're going to take Gunnar Helm as our third tight end here instead of Stowers. We're just going to even up that exposure a little bit. And I mean, I think we just take Tank Dell here. If Tank Dell, all right, big question here. Oh, and I didn't even take Helm over Stowers. Stowers went. So if Tank Dell shows up to Houston Texans training camp fully healthy, no restrictions, not on the pup list, right? Not on the pup, no IR, no limitations, practicing from day one. How high up does his average draft position get? Because my guess is it gets up pretty good. I mean, we're talking about a guy who was a third round pick at one time in fantasy football. I mean, not that long ago, he was a third round pick. I guess the shine is off the apple on CJ Stroud in terms of thinking he is like he's not a very good fantasy football quarterback anymore. See, my instinct was higher than this, than 11th round or the 120s. My first reaction was he gets ahead of Jaden Higgins and he gets to this, somewhere between Wan'Dale Robinson and Josh Downs in ADP. That was my first guess. It would get pretty high up amongst people who are willing to lie to themselves about what he can do. Yeah, I mean, this is a good point from Thomas, which is that Stroud stock is at a true all-time low. Yeah, absolute nadir stuff for our guy. I'd take him in round 13. I'd probably take him in round 13 too. I don't know if I'd feel good about it. All right, so positionally, Mahomes, we have a 2-4-7-3. Mahomes, Kyler, Ken Walker, James Cook, Breece Hall, Aaron Jones, Luther Burden, Carnell Tate, Mekhi Lemon, Jordan Addison, Jaden Reed, Jerry Jeudy, Tank Dell, Travis Kelce, Chigakonkwo, and Gunnar Helm. Now, Colton does make a good point, which is that he changed his name he changed his number to number 1. And we all know that number 1 is the swaggiest number in fantasy football. I mean, we're all very aware of this. Need a running back, at least one more. We have no rookie running backs. Let's do my guy DeMond Claiborne. And I just don't want any more rookie. Is Ty Simpson available? Ty Simpson is available. Bang. All right. And we got 2 more picks left to figure out the wide receiver room. The sidekick has been doing. Oh, yes. Brian is correct. 0 is better than 1. Yes. 0 is better than 1, but they are the 2 swaggiest numbers. The sidekick, I just anecdotally have noticed that it is doing a lot of this where it is. I don't know if you would say it's abandoning a position, but it's kind of just having you not try and make up a position with numbers if the picks are not good. And the sidekick is telling us Singleton, Sean Tucker, Braylon, these guys suck. They're not good picks. Yeah, one for Zoomers is the 88 for Boomers. Yes. If you're of a certain age, and I frankly am of the age where I remember 88 being a very important number. I want to say Julio Jones potentially was the shift of going away from 88 because he wore 11. Roddy White, I believe, wore 84. And I remember Julio Jones being a big part of that shift of the numbers. And maybe that's a total mismemory, but I do recall that. Great point from Yosh. That is a big part of why the Lions offense rules. Gibbs wears 0, JMO wears 1. Correct. 100% correct. And St. Brown wears 14, which is very cool. I don't respect Odell Beckham Jr. Not an Odell guy. Okay. Well, what am I going to close this out with? I mean, I don't really want to take like a Jacoby Lane. This could be a Dontavian Wicks team, maybe a Taekwon team. Maybe we get a Taekwon team in here. I mean, Olamide Zaccheaus. I have not taken any Olamide Zaccheaus, but he kind of fits the build. Wow, there you go. I used to miss questions on purpose to get 88s on my tests back in the day. That's real ball knowing right there. All right, well, Wicks goes anyway. 88 and 32. Yes, 32. I was obviously always partial to I always liked 23 because I was more of a basketball guy than a football guy. 13 for hoops too, and 33 also for Larry Legend. 32 was a good number in hoops as well. Slayton? No, I'm so not a Darius Slayton guy. Taekwon? Ty Felton? Do I have it in me to take a Ty Felton? There's no such thing as a Xavier Restrepo team, bro. All right. Is Taekwon there or did he go? Taekwon's there. We're gonna do it. Bang, Taekwon. Is the positional allocation stuff gonna change? No. No, it's not. All right. Well, I'm gonna take Adam Randall. Bang. All right. 3 quarterbacks, 6 running backs, 8 wide receivers, 3 tight ends. Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray, Ty Simpson, Ken Walker with Mahomes, James Cook, Breece Hall, Aaron Jones with Kyler, DeMond Claiborne, and Adam Randall. Luther Burden, Carnell Tate, Mekhi Lemon, Jordan Addison, Jaden Reed, Jerry Jeudy, Tank Dell, Tyquan Thornton. That is a rough wide receiver room. Travis Kelce with Mahomes, Chigga Okonkwo, and Gunnar Helm. Bang. All right. How many likes do we have on this video? Let's see. Do you guys deserve one more? We got 36 likes. All right, if we get 60 likes, I'll go do another one. I'll go run through one more. The challenge for drafting Tyquan Thornton should be folding a fitted sheet. Is 80% Brenton Strange and Tank Bigsby too much? I mean, 80% Brenton Strange has got to be awful because it means that you were not drafting Travis Kelce and it means that you were not drafting the rookie tight ends, probably. 80% Tank Bigsby is probably fine, but 80% Strange has got to be terrible because it means that you were just passing up on some of the easiest values, which you don't love to see. I want you guys to be drafting the good picks. All right, hopping in to one more big board arena here. You guys did a pretty good job. I mean, hey, we got to 50 likes. I'll give it for 50. I don't hate this move, the Ken Walker, Amari DiMercato bookend. I think there are some backfields you can do that with. I definitely think you can do it with Jonathan Taylor and Christian McCaffrey, where you can take stabs at some of those guys late. I got no issue at all with that. All right, we're drafting at the 8 slot in this draft, which is nice. Let me pull up the draft board view. See, some people don't like the draft board view. Some people like the Q view. We can toggle back and forth. All right, who do we got in here? We've got TR French 1. We have got Dr. Martin Van Nostrand, WD Sim 12, Meek 24. Wow, a little bit of multiplication there. Green Bean, Woo Doggy 15, Peasy B Bell, Hoodied, SSJ 262, and LX Desmond. Drafting out of the 8 slot. GM. Realistically, Brenton Strange's floor is 750 yards and 8 touchdowns. I'm just going to go ahead and guess that is not Brenton Strange's realistic floor. How many tight ends even scored 8 touchdowns last year? Brenton Strange has been in the NFL for 3 seasons and has 6 touchdowns. So I think his realistic floor probably is not 8 touchdowns. All right. Tight ends who scored more than 8 touchdowns last season. Dallas Goedert, Trey McBride. That's it. And then Jake Ferguson at 8 and Colby Parkinson at 8. That was it. So I do disagree personally. What are we gonna do at 8? I guess that's what a CeeDee ends up being most likely. I would take McCaffrey there, but it's fine. I also don't really hate taking Jefferson here. I mean, if you wanna get the Jefferson bags. Okay, sure. CeeDee. CeeDee Ken Walker? Why not? Davis, how ready are you for MLB dailies? Legit might be my favorite game, even though I'm sucked. I also really enjoy them. The thing that is fun about MLB dailies is you can kind of do a choose your own adventure with them on Underdog, where you can be like, okay, I'm gonna try and get, my Bobby Witt, my Ronald Acuna, my Itani teams, and then stack, or you can totally disregard ADP entirely, and you can really take whoever you want. You can be like, oh, no one is stacking the Cleveland Guardians today. I'm just gonna put the top 4 Guardians in my queue, and I'm gonna take O'Neal Cruz as my one-off, and I'm gonna take a pitcher that is not doing any of that stuff. It's a pretty fun game. All right. Well, here we go. We're going to take Ken Walker again. Cedarian Lamb, Kenneth Walker. Poof. There you go. My guy, Jiri Football, is streaming. He is picking at 10. Check out my guy, Jiri Football. Go give Jiri Football a look over on YouTube. He's got 160 subs right now. I bet we can get my guy right now. I bet we can get him to 200 subs if you go click over on his channel right now. And you should support the guys. Yes, I agree. I can't touch Hampton at these prices. I'm not a Hampton guy at all here. No interest in Hampton here. Hampton has so much pressure on him because Vidal is probably going to play third downs, and Keaton Mitchell is going to get the designer stuff, and the offensive line has all their problems. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a hater. I mean, obviously I'm a hater. I won't even pretend to be unbiased. I mean, Omarion Hampton was my most drafted running back last year. I'd have to go back and look, but I think he was my most drafted running back. So maybe I'm not as much of a hater as I thought, but I don't see it this year. The McDaniel stuff is an improvement, but Keaton Mitchell is legit competition, and he was also so bad at pass blocking. Wow, big GM to my guy, Christopher Davis here. $40 super chat for the grind. Omar Cooper Jr. to the moon. Chris, are you a Hoosier grad? Yes, and Eli, you can tell Eli watches ADP chasing because he knows about the Chargers ancient burial ground tax, which is a big part of my model. Okay, so I mean, I'm honestly hoping for AJ Brown here. I would be happy with Rashee Rice here. You know what's funny is the sidekick never wants Kyren Williams, but I am basically happy to take Kyren Williams at these prices. I've got him ranked well ahead of ADP. And I do just, I'm going to take, we took Brees last time. Let's take Kyren this time. CeeDee Lamb, Ken Walker, Kyren Williams. Yes. ADP chasing tonight, 6:30 p.m. Central and 6:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. 2 running backs through 3 picks. It's like it's Back to the Future, man. We are drafting fantasy football teams like it's 2005 again. 2005 fantasy football rankings. This will be a good blast from the past. Oh, nope. The ESPN page is down. It's broken. 2005 fantasy football cheat sheet. Is this going to load? I really hope it does. I'll have exactly 0% of Hampton at this price. I probably want to have 0%, but I don't love it. Man, Bucky in the 4th. Let's take Devonta, actually. I'm a little bit light on Devonta. Burden was gone. We don't want a real life running back 1 on the Chargers with McDaniel because he has to compete with 2 UDFAs. I mean, it's really just more about the fact that I don't think he's going to play much on passing downs. And I think Keaton Mitchell is much better than a UDFA. I don't know about BBM, but in one of these puppies, I might go full 0 hero running back. I completely agree. It pains me every single time. Last year, the market was off Rashee Rice early, and then he steamed late. Seems like we're doing a complete 180 and taking him too early, considering all the suspension risk. Well, I mean, we got nothing on the suspension risk. We just don't know what it is. Chase Brown thoughts this year. I do not love Chase Brown this year. I think he is just a very fragile guy, and the touchdowns masked a lot of his poor peripherals last year. But he also plays in an elite fantasy football offense. All right, no Hoosier relations, just like the dog in him. Hey, he does. I will give Omar Cooper Jr. that. He does have the dog in him. By June, we will be doing 0 running back again. I hope so. I truly do hope so. Seems like Bucky just lives in the 4th now. Yeah, I mean, I was stunned by that, to find literally 0 touches inside the 5-yard line, or carries inside the 5-yard line for Bucky Irving last year. Seems insane. I am flummoxed by that. He is a small guy, though. I mean, he does weigh 187 pounds. He's like a really low RAS guy too. Like I think the Bucky Irving RAS is like 3.5. Yeah, hate to invoke the name, but Bucky has more in common with Philip Lindsay than you would think. So 1 of 2 ways here. We can go Carnell Tate, but I think I'm going to do Byshell Tootin here, actually. Bucky feels okay in best ball, but will be a fade and manage. Let's do Tootin. Bang. All right. Jester maxing by taking the Jaguars running back 2 at pick 56. Many such cases. Michael, I've got my first tee time of the year this Saturday. We'll be out swanging the golf club, playing 18 holes. Been working on my swing a ton. It does look better. It's not, I mean, I've got a long way to go. But the swing has improved from the last time you guys would have seen it. A good amount of 2-3 turn Bucky coping through it. That's all you got to do. Great point here from Brad. The combinatorial ownership of Kyren and Tootin has to be so low. I have to be the only person on earth who really likes Kyren Williams and likes Byshell. I don't really like Kyren Williams. I just think he's fine. DeAndre Swift makes some sense here. Hurts for the stack. I think we probably just do Hurts for the stack. Tyson is kind of a faller. Yeah, let's just do Let's do Jalen Hurts here, I think. Jalen Hurts. All right, so we've got Hurts, Devonta with Ken Walker, Kyren Williams, and Byshell Tootin. What do I think about the Chiefs taking offensive line early? I mean, I really hope that is what they're doing. I don't know what they're gonna do. Caleb Downs, I think, would be good. I think if you look at the grinding the mocks data, the most likely thing is an offensive lineman now. Let me see if I can pull it up. Expected draft position boards 2026. The most likely expected draft position now is the guy with short arms from Miami. I would be happy with this guy, Mansour Delane. Yes, the infinite jester maxing line was legit 10 out of 10. Purple Yosh, a true all-timer. Kyren isn't quite vegetables. He's like mashed potatoes, Benny. He's still technically a vegetable, but it tastes good, right? You got some butter, you got some salt, you got some heavy cream. Maybe a little bit of like mince, smoked garlic with some Parmesan cheese, maybe a little bit of truffle salt in there. It's a vegetable that you're happy when it's on your plate. Or you know, I'm trying to think like what's the goat vegetable side? Really, really good. Really, really good. Like garlic lemony asparagus. He's a vegetable, but like you would order it as a side at a nice steakhouse, I think is what I would say for Kyren Williams' level of vegetables. Someone I trust connected the Chiefs to Spencer Fano. Happy with that. I mean, not that I am out there scouting these offensive linemen, but based on what I can tell, I would be happy with that. All right. I don't really want this is going to be a Michael Wilson team, which the sidekick never wants, but shit. All right, let's just do Fannin. Whatever. We're having fun here. We're kind of punting wide receiver, but we got CeeDee Lamb. Blake Corum is when they make the fake mashed potatoes with cauliflower. I've never had that. I don't think. Sounds good though. It would still need a lot of butter, so it's not like it would be that healthy. What is a coal cannon potato? Do I know what that is? A coal cannon potato. Irish mashed potatoes with greens, scallion, and plenty. Okay. Ooh, mixed with sauteed kale or cabbage. Ooh, man, I'm hungry now. It's like bruschetta at a cocktail hour. Principal item is vegetarian, but it's all dolled up. Duck-footed king. It's true. I don't think cauliflower mashed potatoes would be Huberman approved, honestly. Too much butter. Too much butter, too much cream. All right. Well, that was probably a little bit of a mistake to take Harold Fannin Jr. there, because I'm going to take Dak here. This is going to be a weirdo team. This is going to be a bizarre team. All right. Hurts and Dak, maybe a week 17 matchup. Ken Walker, Kyren Williams, Byshell Tootin, CeeDee Lamb, Devonta Smith, Harold Fannin Jr. Do I cook? I cook in the sense that I like to cook food and I make dinner for my family a lot. But I mean, I'm not a chef. I didn't go to culinary school, and a lot of what I make is health food. It's as low fat, as low carb, high protein, high fiber as possible. A lot of everyone gets half a cup of rice. Everyone gets half a pound of low fat, high protein meat, and then a vegetable, which is, no one is thinking all day about, oh man, I can't wait to eat my chicken and rice and bell peppers. Do I have any thoughts on Milwaukee as a city, moving there for work from Portland, Oregon? I've been to Portland. I've not been to Milwaukee in a long time. It's a nice city, I think. Seems fine. Man, I'm going to have to be smashing the wide receivers here. This is going to have to be like Reed, Pittman, Concepcion, Coker. Gonna have to stack like a Flournoy later. The Ryan Flournoy ADP has been so funny. It's just like I've not thought about Ryan Flournoy as a serious fantasy football entity. And every time I go to update my rankings, I get Ryan Flournoy's ADP pulled in, and then I look and I'm like, why is Ryan Flournoy like the wide receiver 87? Who are these Ryan Flournoy drafters? What do we guys, we're about to pull up. We are so back. Fantasy football is so back. We're about to pull up the Mike Clay projections. Ryan Flournoy for the 2026 Cowboys projected for 34 receptions, 383 yards, and 3 tuds. We are so back. Kyron is vitamin DK stack. Buying for likes Flournoy. All right. Okay. Flournoy does feel like a weird pick, but we do take wide receiver 3 in worse offenses earlier. Well, it's because Ferguson is really the wide receiver 3. Michael used to live in Milwaukee. Sneaky good sports town. Well, they've got baseball. They've got basketball. They've got, I guess how far away is Green Bay? It's got to be kind of close. They don't have hockey though, which does feel weird. I got to take Worthy here. I know. I knew the kick was not going to be on board with that. How does Milwaukee not have a hockey team? Or am I tripping? They don't, right? They don't. They have a team that's close? I don't think so. Wisconsin hockey. Maybe people are really into the Wisconsin Badgers hockey team. It's possible. Just feels like of all the states, like Florida has multiple NHL teams and we don't have one in Wisconsin. And I'm sure they're not fans of like the Wild. Maybe Red Wings fans. I guess, yeah, Blackhawks are Blackhawks are 2 hours down the road. Yeah, Blackhawks are close. And then what? I guess Detroit would just be right across Detroit is right across the, almost said river, lake. Dobbins? I am not feeling Dobbins here. I guess we're just kind of behind across the board, so maybe I do need Dobbins. All right, Dobbins it is. Is there anyone doing NHL playoff best ball stuff? I've done a couple. I would assume the brothers, my guys, the Badge Bros, I would assume that they've probably done a couple streams on it. Maybe not yet. The futures odds for the NHL are so funny though. The Colorado Avalanche are plus 175 at the DraftKings Sportsbook to win the Stanley Cup, which is that's about as gnarly as it gets. I don't know if I've ever seen plus 175. There you go. Benny is in the Zamboni streets. Yeah, the Florida Panthers, well, the Panthers and the Lightning have both been historically great like the last 7 years. All right. Man, this is a weirdo team. Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Ken Walker, Kyron Williams, Byshell Tootin, J.K. Dobbins, CeeDee Lamb, Devonta Smith, Xavier Worthy, Harold Fannin Jr. This is probably the weirdest team I've drafted in the big board yet. I have done some dances, but this is a limiting factor, which is that in my first draft, I think I took Tatum at pick 28, and now Jason Tatum is a first round pick. If Colorado survives round 2, they're almost a free pass to the final. Well, what? Because are they going to play? Would they play Dallas in the second round? Is that how it matches up? Oh, frick, Downs went. Concepcion, I'm not that worried about the knee stuff. Concepcion goes. Goodness gracious. This is a team that is going to really need Travis Hunter. Oh, God. I am running out of wide receivers. This is a team that's like every pick at wide receiver, I'm going to be like, yeah, dude, I just need to embrace the volatility here. Yeah, let's take Jaden Higgins. And if Ferguson comes back around to me, whatever. I feel like wide receiver is a bigger need there. I don't know. What would you guys have done? Would you have taken Ferguson there? I mean, the stack obviously is nice, but I'm looking at my wide receiver 5 being Rashid Shaheed or Denzel Boston. Ooh, you know what? You're right. I should take Omar for my guy Chris. Or maybe Ferguson gets around. I mean, what is the tight end situation looking like after me? Oh no, these two teams don't have a tight end. I'm probably screwed here. Oh, Kelsey goes late Flournoy, or maybe Turpin. Turpin was like at this time last year. Turpin was like a trendy sleeper. That was a thing. I took a lot of Turpin actually. I mean some. All right. Well, fading my guy B Bell. Do you think that is the Blake Bell drafting next to me, former Dallas Cowboy, Kansas City Chief? All right. Well, Ferguson comes back around again. 2-4-4-2. Very strange build here. Late Schoonmaker. What about that late Brevin span forward leverage? This team is about to rerun Jack Besh. Yeah, Turpin was the web back, dude. I mean, how many carries did Kevontae Turpin get last year? What a weird team the Cowboys are. Just a weird organization. Dak plays all 17 games, leads the NFL in completions. Malik Davis out of nowhere becomes the running back 2. Malik Davis, I believe, I want to say the year that Corrane won Best Ball Mania, Malik Davis was my most drafted player. Turpin ended up with 17 rushes. He did finish 6th on the team in receptions for 396 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, you'll just tell yourself anything. You'll just tell yourself anything about fantasy football, especially in March. I mean, I'll tell myself anything about this stuff. Drafting Jaden Blue while shedding a tear. I mean, can't be drafting Jaden Blue anymore. I can't get that story out of my head that the roster watch guys asked the Cowboys coaching staff at I believe it was the combine. They asked the coaching staff about getting Jaden Blue involved this year, and they literally laughed. I mean, you are not coming back from that, bro. That is cooked city. It's true. People forget Turpin did have a good week 17 game. He had like I think he scored like a long touchdown in the game that JCM also scored. I remember he was draftable on the Christmas Day BR slate. So Goddard adds on a stack. But I think we just need wide receiver points more here. And I'm not taking a quarterback. I think we need to keep kicking that can down the road. This is like this would be like an Aaron Rodgers, Ty Simpson, Tua Tagovailoa style build. Honestly, Ayuk and Hunter both fit the profile of what I need here, which is my floor is fine because I've got Lamb and Devonta. I need potential spike weeks here. All right, so let's take Hunter. If Goddard is still there at 161, sure, whatever. It's true. Flournoy did have 2 100-yard games last year. What was the stat? that Flournoy and Javonte Williams were the first pair of Dallas Cowboys teammates ever to have 100 yards in their respective category in the first half of a game? Was it maybe even Jaden Blue in the Week 18 game? It might have been I think it was Flournoy and Javonte were the first two Cowboys players to have 100. Javonte 100 rushing yards, Flournoy 100 receiving yards. I think that was it. But it might have been the Week 18 game. All right, Goddard goes. Tight end's getting absolutely jammed off the board right here. I mean, I actually would take. Okay, well, Ayuk. Oh, Ayuk went before. This would have been a team where I would have taken Ayuk. Diggs honestly makes some sense here. Judy makes some sense here. I'm not taking any of these quarterbacks. Debo, I guess I took Debo on the last one. So I'm thinking Diggs or Judy. Sure. All right. Stephon Diggs. So now we are up to 2, 4, 6, 2. Hurts, Dak, Walker, Kyron, Tootin, Dobbins, Lamb, Devonta, Worthy, Jaden Higgins, Travis Hunter, Stephon Diggs, Harold Fannin, and Jake Ferguson. I think you're right. I'm pretty sure it was Javonte Williams, which does lead me to believe. I mean, here, let me Google it. Javonte Williams, Flournoy, first Cowboys teammates. Yes, Javonte Williams and Ryan Flournoy made history as the first Dallas Cowboys teammates to each record 100 plus yards rushing and receiving respectively in the same half of the game. They achieved this feat in a 37-22 win against the Jets. Of course, it was the Jets. But I mean, it is just so funny, right? Like, not Dez Bryant and Zeke, not Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin, not any of the legendary pairs of Cowboys running backs and wide receivers. I mean, I'm sure you could even go back to like the Staubach days, right? I'm sure Roger Staubach played with many Hall of Famers for the Dallas Cowboys. Let's see. What was Staubach's greatest most yards? 1979. 1979, the Dallas Cowboys had Tony Dorsett, right? So they had Tony Dorsett and they had Drew Pearson, and neither of them were able to do it. Insane. And the name that goes on the record books is Ryan Flournoy. Speaking of cooked, yeah, Caleb Johnson is well done. Did not want them to sign Rico Dowdle. Kadarius Toney is the first guy to have 189 yards and then get ejected for punching someone. That's true. That's true. Being able to get Diggs and Debo near Emmett Johnson and Pacheco. Yes. I mean, they're not even fun clicks, but like you're saying, it's so obvious they're gonna rise. I mean, if we get a clip of Tyreek working out, he's gonna rise too. It's just so obvious the way that these things go. Speaking of which, maybe this is one to take Tyreek. Is this a draft to take Tyreek? It might be. I think I'm going to. Is there a running back? Am I really missing anything? Is Brian Robinson gone? Yeah, he's gone. Oh, you know what? No, I'm gonna take Stowers. my Stowers bags. At one point, Stowers was my most drafted player in the entire contest. Yeah, the Reek picks. I mean, and I mean, to Brad's point, like these contests are lottery odds. Like how big is this contest? The big board has 2,000 or 200 223,200 entrants. It's lottery style contests. Tyreek goes to the Chargers with Mike McDaniel. Where's he going in September? Well, he's still got to be healthy. The Tyreek would be going a lot earlier if anyone thought he was healthy, but we have no evidence that he is healthy. Tyreek is still available. All right, if B Bell doesn't take him, we're taking him. All right, Tyreek. That's the first time I've taken Tyreek in a while. Just it's hard to take injured players, you know. Feel like this is not the team to take Tyreek. Already betting on Hunter and Higgins being year 2 risers. Yeah, I mean, honestly, this team is completely cooked if CeeDee Lamb is not, close to being the wide receiver 1. It needs AJ Brown to be traded. It needs Xavier Worthy to be much closer to what he was as a rookie. And then I just need to get one kind of breakout out of Higgins, Hunter, Diggs, and Tyreek. Just one kind of steady bit of production. Tyreek with a broken leg over Pittman and DJ Moore. Well, I would bet that Tyreek's last healthy games are not even close to Michael Pittman Jr., I would think. All right, so in Tyreek's last 21 games, he has 1,300 yards and 7 touchdowns. Michael Pittman in his last 21 games, I mean, he had 784 yards and 7 touchdowns last year, 808 yards and 3 touchdowns the year before. They're basically the same. And I don't even like Michael Pittman Jr. I am an anti Michael Pittman Jr. I mean, I just need one of these guys, right? I need Diggs to sign with someone. I need Higgins, even Worthy, right? If we're like, maybe Rashi gets suspended for 8 games and Worthy, I don't know. I mean, Rashi probably is not getting suspended for 8 games. If Rashi gets suspended, it's probably for the whole year. All right. Well, what do we do? I mean, is there anything more depressing than looking at these wide receivers? Torrey Horton, Hollywood Brown, Jeremy Bernard. I mean, like, I know these drafts have to be 20 rounds. All right, here it is. This one's to all the, I was talking shit on him to start the draft. I believe that is the first time I've taken Ryan Flournoy. Let's go check. I wonder if I have taken a Flournoy before. Almost has to be the first time. Drafts completed, 108 completed contests. I'm in a lot of slows. Ryan Flournoy. I've taken him. I have $13 of Flournoy up to this point. So there you go. I guess you never know. Caught the TGL late yesterday and immediately thought of you when Tom Kim's first shot was locked on the flag. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. It's fishy at the very least. At the very least, Michael. Fishy. I honestly, like, there can't be anything nefarious going on. But if there was, it would make some sense. Jacoby Lane, yes, I will. I will take some. Jacoby Lane probably is my favorite rookie wide receiver relative to consensus. Reek might be a better pick than Flournoy. He probably is. GM, Mr. Master, got your first Denzel Boston. Why can't Adam Randall be the next Antonio Gibson? I would say he probably can't be the next Antonio Gibson because he's not as fast. But I really like Antonio. I really like Adam Randall. Adam Randall is one of my favorite guys in this class. Damn, I missed on Terrence Ferguson again. I guess that is the issue when the player pool is so small in these contests. Everyone knows everyone's favorite players. Oh, okay. Well, how am I going to end this? I have 9 wide receivers. All right. Well, we need to tap a couple running backs, and I will probably take Ty Simpson again. Does the Njoku price settle tied with Andrews when the Ravens reluctantly sign him for $10 million for 1 year? I would think Andrews would still go ahead of him, or at least I would have him ranked ahead, but you never know. All right, well, let's just get my thumbnail guy. Let's bring him on down. We'll take Ty Simpson. I do, Mr. Santana, you know me well. I love converted position players, and I do have a very soft spot in my heart for Randall. I think Randall, again, is one of my most drafted players. Can I filter by position? There you go. Adam Randall, second most drafted player. 23.1% of Adam Randall. Ooh. I've been getting cold feet on Lane lately with his draft capital dropping. I mean, he was never really a draft capital bet, John. He was a skill bet. So to me, he was a skill bet. Savion. Well, Adam Randall actually played running back. Savion never really played running back. So big difference there. All right. Speaking of Adam Randall, let's just do it. Let's play the hits. All right. Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Ty Simpson, Ken Walker, Kyron Williams, Byshell Tootin, J.K. Dobbins, Adam Randall, CeeDee Lamb, Devonta Smith, Xavier Worthy, Jaden Higgins, Travis Hunter, Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, Ryan Flournoy, Jacoby Lane, Harold Fannin, Jake Ferguson, and Eli Stowers. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm going to get out of here, boys. Make sure that you like the video. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel for daily fantasy football videos. I'll bet. So right now there are 133 people watching on YouTube. I bet 42 of you are not subscribed to the channel. That's insane. Come on, guys. Come on. Keaton Mitchell is not a bit. I actually really like him. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Make sure you like the video. I will see you guys back tomorrow.